Are Dan and Phill dating? All the evidence and what it points to. Daniel Hal and Phil Lester, much better known by their collective moniker Dan and Phill, are two of the oldest, biggest, and most beloved YouTubers of all time. With 2.81 million subscribers on their collective channel, and 2 or 3 times more than that on their individual channels, the two have had a huge base of loyal fans following them since 2006. And for all this time, the fans have had only one question on their mind. Are Dan and Phill together? And today, we're going to look for an answer. Welcome to the AF Empire channel, where we focus on influencers, stars, and famous people. If you're interested in this kind of content, then this channel is for you. Make sure to like this video, click on the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to keep you updated on our recent uploads. Now let's get right into the lives of Dan and Phill. The story of Dan and Phill is something out of a movie. Phill has been active on YouTube since 2006, and that is how Dan first found out about him. Dan was a fan of Phil's and reached out to him on every platform constantly during Phil's early years as a YouTuber. It was actually encouragement from Phill that convinced Dan to start his YouTube career as well. The two finally met in person in 2010, made their first collaborative video, and began their journey as a double act. The journey took them from being gaming YouTubers to radio show hosts, to authors, to live acts, to voices in animated movies, and much more. For more than a decade, the duo dominated multiple forms of media through a wide variety of content, all while living and working out of the same apartment in London. Both YouTubers were incredibly magnetic individually. However, it was ultimately their chemistry that became their primary selling point. But it was their chemistry that has led to many questions over the years. Are the two dating? Earlier on, it was just a crazy ship from the fans. But with both guys coming out as gay in recent years, the plot has definitely thickened. Here's what we know so far. In 2019, Dan came out as gay via a video on YouTube, and in the very same video, he gave some insight into his relationship with Phill. He said, "I met Phill and obviously we were more than friends, but it was more than just romantic. This is someone that genuinely liked me. I trusted them, and for the first time since I was a tiny child, I actually felt safe. And the relationship we formed at that point was something that I needed in my life."
Wow, I had a lot of fun with many different kinds of people in 2009. Let's just say I got a lot out of my system. Got a couple of things in my system too. Sorry. And this is when, through the magic of the internet, I met Phill. And obviously we were more than friends, but it was more than just romantic. This is someone that genuinely liked me. I trusted them, and for the first time since I was a tiny child, I actually felt safe. And the relationship we formed at that point was something that I needed in my life. We are real best friends, companions through life, like actual soulmates. Not that souls are a real thing that exists. It's so lucky to just find someone you can be that compatible with, and especially to anyone that has experienced the kind of self-hatred that I've dealt with. One person.
While a complete bomb of a statement for the fans, it was still a little ambiguous about exactly what kind of relationship Dan and Phill shared. Additionally, the statement seemed to suggest that the relationship was in the past and Dan refused to comment on their relationship status in the present. He said, "I'm sure a lot of people want to know more than that, which I take as a compliment. I prefer to keep my personal life private." Phill is similar. On the same day, Phill came out as well, but his video did not mention anything about the relationship either. Since then, fans have been hungry for any kind of insight into their relationship, but the pair have refused to comply. Some have been concerned that perhaps the relationship that Dan was referring to existed in the past, and the two are no longer together. It would explain the fact that their primary collaboration channel, Dan and Phill Games, has been dormant since 2018, after running for almost a decade. Furthermore, Dan remained absent from YouTube from 2018 to 2022 as well, and in the past 3 or 4 years, the two have just not been collaborating the way they used to. Perhaps unbeknownst to all the fans, there was a Dan and Phill relationship all these years, and now that it is public knowledge, the relationship is over. Perhaps the end of the relationship is what caused Dan to step away from YouTube. But then how do we explain that in 2021, Dan and Phill announced that they have bought a house together, and they will be moving into it? Perhaps the two have moved on from their relationship and now just wish to go on as professional collaborators. Dan has addressed the possible future of their joint gaming channel while doing a brief cameo in a Phill video in 2021. He said, "We haven't made some secret dramatic decision about secretly never coming back. I'm just taking time. Maybe we'll return to it. Maybe we'll do streaming, Twitch stuff. Maybe we'll just do other things like this in the future.
Did too.
So we did it for several years, and we were like, let's just take a pause to have some time to grow. We haven't made some secret dramatic decision about secretly never coming back. I'm just taking time. Maybe we'll return to it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do streaming, Twitch stuff. Maybe we'll just do other things like this in the future.
Yeah.
Hi, this is some nice joint
something
content
new
right now.
We didn't know how long the pause was going to be, and we didn't anticipate that, but at the moment it's still like, we don't know. We're just like exploring.
I'm just feeling out life,
What's
man.
going on?
But also, a funny thing about Dan and Phill games is a lot of people enjoyed watching Dan and Phill, but didn't necessarily love video games. So they were like, wow.
Perhaps that's what living together is going to be about. Strictly professional. But anyone who has ever been in a relationship would know that while you can maintain functioning relationship with exes, you can't just go living in the same house as them. Hence, it's unlikely that Dan and Phil's move is strictly platonic or professional. Another interesting insight comes from one of the new videos on Dan's channel marking his return. Phill joined Dan for the video and they talked about their relationship, once again refusing to comment. People share too much on the internet, and then everyone wants a little piece of your life, Phill said. So I'd like to be aloof and a little mysterious.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Dan and Phill.
Yeah.
Two real human people with full lives.
Last time I checked.
We have really done it, Phill.
We've done it.
We have done it all. We have given it everything, and yet people want more.
What could they possibly want?
Do you know what people want?
What?
I'll tell you what they want. They want the truth. For once, Phill, they just want the goddamn truth.
Oh no.
Are we gay? Did we fuck? What the fuck is the situation now? Do we really live together? Where's Phil's secret wife? Just stop the lies!
He did not tell me any of this, by the way.
What is your opinion
What?
on all that?
I don't know. People share too much on the internet, and then everyone wants a little piece of your life, so I like to be aloof and mysterious, you know?
And what about me saying that I was fucking straight?
I mean, when you are young...
Their constant refusal to comment strongly suggests that there is something to hide in the first place. The duo does seem to be returning to their usual collaborative manner, and moving into a house together is no small matter. Perhaps Dan's absence was merely the two experiencing problems in their relationship and needing time apart. After all, if the speculation is correct, the two have been together for almost a decade, and some problems are bound to come up during that time. Regardless, it seems that the duo is back to a happy and healthy place, and while their fans would love to hear more, that is good enough for them. For more scoop on other famous YouTubers, subscribe to our AF Empire channel. See you guys next time.